Element on today's game, I want to ask you, I'll start with Hassam. Should Crystal Palace, in your opinion, have had a penalty for the pull on Mark Guehi's arm?
I think this would have been the softest penalty in Premier League history had this been given. Like, there's absolutely nothing in this. People are just taking every decision so over the top. There is absolutely nothing in this. This is not a penalty. I mean, we saw the same thing with Fofana and the West Ham player 2 weeks ago, and that one was even stronger than this, and a penalty was not given. I think this is not strong enough to give it as a penalty. This is not a penalty. People are just living in their delusional world now, where every single touch in the penalty box must be a penalty. It wasn't a penalty. Nowhere near a penalty. And then, by the way, the ball was played from Chalobah to a goal kick, so it's not like Mark Guehi could have gotten there anyway. So it's like that's just, listen. If you say that's a penalty, it's just nonsense. With all due respect, that's definitely not a penalty.
I mean, when you watch it, I don't think Guehi at any point is the only argument you've got is Guehi may put the goalkeeper off, but if Alisson just comes out and gets anywhere near it and Guehi makes contact with him, it's a foul on the goalkeeper. The ball, Alisson like jumps and punches it. I don't think Guehi's ever going to make contact with that ball whilst Alisson's there. I can understand why. I'll put it this way: if it was against my team, I'd have an initial annoying feeling at it because I'd feel like, look, he's held his arm. But I don't think it's the same as the Chelsea versus West Ham one, because that one, Somerville was gonna get to that ball, whereas this one, I don't think, because it's on a goalkeeper and they're more protected. I don't think Guehi was going to necessarily get on the ball and put that in the back of the net in the same way. If it was on it, let's say it was Mateta running through and Van Dijk done it, then I think there'd be more of an argument there. But because it's on Alisson who jumps up and punches it, and he clears so much ground doing that, I don't think it's necessarily a penalty because of that.
Yeah, it's too soft, man. It's not like he even held him back and done this, like grabbed him back, pulled him down. It's just, listen, not every touch in the penalty box is a penalty.
I mean, if we're being honest, the referee was crap today. He was horrendous. It took us 55 minutes to get a free kick. We were the team that had 75% possession, and we made 12 fouls before we got one. How does that make sense? We got 4 bookings before they fouled us once, apparently. And in the second half, the referee lost control of that game in the second half. So then just decided to stop giving fouls. There was two moments where like Gravenberch turns, gets borderline clotheslined in the stomach by Will Hughes, and the ref tells him to get up and get on with it. And then it worked in our favour, yeah. Endo goes down in the corner, punches it out for the throw-in. And the referee gives the throw-in and not handball, and then he gives a foul throw off the throw-in, so we get the ball back anyway. Like, it's horrendous.
Do you know, he didn't have a great game. I get what you're all saying about soft penalty. For me, I think when you pull someone's... I understand that Alisson would have probably got there. But again, is it easier for the goalkeeper to catch a ball or make a clearance when there's no one challenging him? Or if he sees like a 6'2", burly man jumping at him, that could potentially put him off, right? So for me, I think if you hold someone's arm and stop their initial... If you hold their arm or their shirt and you stop the first part of their run, which is explosive, I think it's a foul. What I will say, because I've called them out for this all year, is at least they've been consistent. Because imagine they give this as a penalty today, but not the West Ham one. What I hope that doesn't happen, though, and I bet it does. I'm going to put this bet out there now. I bet Man United concede one for a very similar thing tomorrow. Just going to put it out there. I bet we concede one that's similar. But I think it's a ridiculous rule. I don't think you better hold on to anyone's arm. And I kind of get it when you're jostling at a corner and you're both kind of grabbing each other. But when someone goes to make a run, I think if you hold their arm, hold their leg, hold their shirt, it should just be a foul because you'll stop. There's a reason you're holding them, right? It's to impede them. So I think it's a foul. However, if they're not going to give them, they've just got to continue to not give them to anybody and at least create the consistency around it. But as I said at the start, whether people think it's a penalty or not, it's nothing to do with Liverpool. Liverpool didn't cheat. Liverpool didn't rob Crystal Palace, even if you think it was a foul. But yeah, at least they're being consistent, which I think's been the biggest talking point this season is where is the consistency? At least they've not given either of those penalties that are in question, but it's a weird one. It's a weird one.
But even the Somerville one, I'm not even doing this from a Chelsea agenda perspective. On a legitimate level, that one was an even stronger pull. Like Van Dijk, like that was one of some of the weak, like I really like it was barely a pull. It wasn't like, you know, like it's not like this is Guehi and Van Dijk is like doing this. Like it's literally just like doing. It would have been the harshest penalty to give all year long. So the game against Chelsea West Ham game.
Yeah, when people say it's harsh though, see, this is what I think a club should do. A club should get petty and should just start holding the arms when every opponent tries to run just for a second and make a point that what the fuck does fleeting mean? If Jota's about to run through on goal and someone holds his arm for a split second to stop him getting there, you are going to scream foul. You're not going to say it's you're going to say foul. We all are, by the way. You know, when a player tries to run away in the middle and his shirt's pulled, even if it's for a split second, if it stops that explosive run from happening, we scream foul. I don't see why this is different just because it's in the box. They shouldn't be allowed to do. It's either you let pulling go on or you don't. I don't think we can pick and choose where it is and isn't a foul. It's either a foul or not for me. But at least they're being consistent with it, rightly or wrongly.
On that, just on the example that you gave is a little bit different when you're accelerating and you're exploding past somebody because you're balanced a lot less. With this one, Guehi is not accelerating or anything. He's literally in like a very low accelerative position.
Yeah, no, so go watch it again. He's trying to accelerate, Ram. The reason do you know why he didn't accelerate? Because Van Dijk's holding his fucking arm. That's why he didn't accelerate.
But it's such a slippery slope, though, Terry. It's such a slippery slope because then every single pull that either on both sides, it will be a penalty either way.
You say slippery slope, but in every other part of the pitch, if a player goes to run and an opponent is holding his shirt, his arm, his leg, or his hair, it's given as a foul. Why is it not a foul in the penalty box?
Because it happens to both teams. They both pull each other. That's the thing. Okay,
but that's not the answer. Both teams get pulled up for fouls if they do that outside the box. Why is it not a foul in the box, in your opinion?
Because the majority of the time, the referee sees as 6 a dozen and half a dozen of the other. 6 of one thing, half a dozen of the other.
Question I would throw to you: if he's not trying to impede him, why is he pulling him?
Go ask Van Dijk that. I don't know.
I'm just saying, look, I'm not blaming Liverpool. It isn't their fault in any way, shape, or form. I just don't understand why it's not a foul. And obviously, what you're going to do is Terry is trying to diminish Liverpool's win by talking about the supposed pen. No, I'm not. It's a big talking point from the game. I have praised Liverpool. This is why we call you Maradona the moron. Praise Liverpool. Said how amazing your defense is. Said amazing how amazing Slot is. But it is a talking point that we didn't bring up until nearly half an hour into the show, my friend. And it's a fleeting talking point that's now over. But there was a comment.
Make no mistake, this win wasn't an incredible win anyway. It's not a win that me, Tom, or Rax are going to sit up here. Wow, we were incredible. We were amazing. We really weren't. We can.
I'm not looking forward to watching it on Match of the Day tonight.
That's what I'm saying. We can admit when a game is shit, but we get the result. We admit it. We come here. We say, guys, we didn't play that.
I'll be skipping this one when it comes to Match of the Day. One, I've already seen it. I do. In fairness, when I watch Match of the Day now, because obviously I watch most of the games during the day, I will just like forward some of these things. I've had a great comment that's come through here. Two are very interesting. The first one says Terry, no talent. Just invites other streamers on for content. Rarely does a solo stream. I do at least 2 solo videos a day, by the way, and copies everyone. Imagine the football Terrace has copied everyone. I copied them. I love it. Imagine thinking that I copied them. Now, this is my favorite one of the day. Terry, RIP to you. The sooner the better. Good riddance. Props to Ten Hag. Listen, I don't get offended by these things because you wishing death upon me won't make me die. That doesn't work like that. The world doesn't work in that way. But listen, my friend, I don't know. You've probably been prompted to do this by someone online that doesn't like me, but I hope that you find happiness, my friend. Imagine wishing me a death threat. Oh, amazing. City got a penalty.
Super chat at least.
Yeah, at least super chat me. City got a penalty for exactly this against you last season. United, remember what? Listen. Again, I said it at the time. I got why they gave it as a foul, but I did say at the time as well. No, you won't see this penalty given. You won't see that penalty given often again to anybody else. I don't think one has been given for it since that game. I wouldn't be surprised if we concede one tomorrow against Villa like this, just for insult to injury. Knowing Kelleher, he's going to drop a masterclass versus Chelsea,
We don't
isn't
need a
he?
masterclass to beat Chelsea. See, know your place, know your role. Shut your mouth, please.
You can't help yourself, can you? You
That's
cannot
not what he
help
said,
yourself.
though, Sam.
These Chelsea fans are obsessed. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna go watch my second team Arsenal now. See you guys. See you
Yeah,
guys later.
speaking of me copying everyone, do you know the amount of content creators now that are saying Arsenal are scary and doing this with their face? It's unbelievable.
At least I
And
didn't do this with my face. That's the one thing I'd say.
But then what happens is, I think someone actually did the other day, right? And I'm not going to mention the name of the other content creators. I'm not trying to start a beef. Someone literally messaged me saying, "Why are you copying the content of this content creator by saying Arsenal are excellent?" I actually pissed myself laughing, saying, "Well, I actually mean what I say. I think they do as well." But the idea that I'm copying people is just hilarious. I love it. Ram, speak to you soon. Rack, that's not your name. Hussam, I'll speak to you soon, bro. Liverpool have given up the same amount of goals in the league as Arsenal versus Leicester at home. Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
I mean, what you would say about that, though, because what's his name? Tom cares about XG. They scored those 2 goals, Leicester, from 0.03 XG. It's an anomaly. and that will happen to Liverpool at some point this season where a team's going to have 2 half chances and score them in a game. And you're like, how the hell is that? You know, what's gone on there? All low blocks will till you see what we do to teams that open up. Well, I suppose that's the question, Rack, isn't it? Like some people are saying that you ain't played no one yet. But there's another side to this. When you actually play teams that open up, you might see an even bit better Liverpool team.
Yeah, look, the only time we've dropped points this season has been against Forest, and they basically sat in a low block. And I'm not going to complain about it. They did it very effectively, and we couldn't break them down. So I think any team is difficult to play against people who deny you space. The good advantage of playing against good teams is the majority of them give you, certainly City will. They'll give you a chance of going the other end because they'll back themselves to win. And we also back ourselves to win. I think Arsenal are probably the exception to that because they still don't give away that many chances. But when we play against City, I don't know how many goals we scored against them last season and previous seasons, but we've always been able to open them up, and they've always been able to open us up. That's just been the nature of the game. We're a bit more controlling now, and hopefully that bodes well for us defensively, and it has so far. But bigger tests are yet to come, and we're ready for them.
Absolutely. Feel like Maka is the brain of our midfield. Second half showed it. Wins now mean more since Slot is still coming in. Chelsea win critical if we want to challenge. Yeah, I mean, especially if City and Arsenal are winning as well. It's just this. I feel like every point with the quality of the teams in the Premier League really matters at this particular time. In my opinion, it was a champion's performance. It was a champion's performance. Rodri FC is out. Bottle Jobs will bottle it. It will go down to Van Dijk, not included in the Ballon d'Or, and Terry, not a pen, in my opinion. Look, I wouldn't. I mean, I get people writing Arsenal saying they'll fail at the final hurdle. I kind of get that. That people have that opinion. City, just because they ain't got Rodri, they're going to be there. They are going to be there. Liverpool does not look right. I think the re-signing saga is getting to them.
What? That makes.
I mean,
you're on mute. Tom, you're on mute. Stop ranting. You're on mute.
Fuck's sake! If this is what not looking right looks like, I don't ever want to be right because this is very good. I'm enjoying this at the minute. Having the best defense in the league.
But let's think about. Let's break this down, right? So Gravenberch is receiving the ball on the half turn, right? Spins his man, and then he thinks, you know what? Mo Salah, he hasn't signed his contract. What the fuck are we going to do next season? That doesn't happen. When you're playing the game, if you play football in 90 minutes, you're focused on the game. If the ball's there to be won, you go there, win the ball. Yeah, maybe people are talking about outside of dressing room more and things like that. Undoubtedly, when you've got big players. But when you're on the pitch, you think about what's going on.
And Liverpool are top. They have won. How many? Is this game week 7?
Was it 8?
Yes, 7.
Yeah,
7.
Is it?
I don't know.
I can't remember.
I know you've won. I know you've lost.
Yeah,
game week 7.
Game week 7, yeah. Game week 7.
So they've played 7 games. They've won 6 of them. They've only conceded 2 goals. One of them was in the defeat. To say that they don't look right is crazy. What I will say is this. I don't think they're at their best yet. I think this Liverpool team can get even better. So yeah, that's a mad take in my opinion. Flapjack here says, "Oh, Arsenal nearly scored." Terry, the simple answer is there is a higher tolerance for fouls in the box than outside of it. If not, we'd be getting 5 penalties a game. There is a higher tolerance, but again, they should just write that in law. They should just make it a law rather than an interpretation. But what I will say is at least they've been consistent with this. What they can't now start doing is, I don't know, Fulham hold on to Haaland's arm in a minute and it's fleeting and they get a penalty for it, because that is when fans get really annoyed. If you're not going to give any of them, we can all accept it. If that's the rule, that's the law, we'll all accept it. But it's when they start picking and choosing, I think. Gentlemen, look, I want to thank you all for coming on. Terry about to celebrate. Yeah. And the people that wishing me and you know, it's funny. And then the people that wishing me death threats, oh, they're gonna love it, aren't they? Boys, I want to thank you all for coming on. Everyone who's tuned in, you're amazing. By the way, be careful if you're illegally streaming Premier League content. They are cracking down on it hard. If you want to watch all the 3 p.m. games legally, first of all, sign up to NordVPN, scan that QR code you can see on the screen. Get to Tanta Sports. It's $3.99 a month and it's legal. As long as you're allowed to use a VPN in the country you're in, and I know some you can't, it's legal, it works every time, and you're not going to go to prison for doing it. I thought Arsenal were going to get a penalty then. I need to cheat again. Terry, when you stop being a moron and take everything literally, you do realize that I'm joking when I call out the trolls. I'm not taking it literally. The fact that you don't even get that it's sarcasm.